You can start now, sir.
Good afternoon to all. Myself, Anoop Krishnan, basically a chemist working as a scientist in Hydrological Processes Group, National Center for Science Studies, and SOMOS Institute located in Trivandrum, southernmost part of our India. It's immense pleasure to be with this MOS webinar series 2020 platform as part of the Swachhta Pakhwada program to deliver a webinar on pollution aspects together with the practices for containing pollution in line with the research programs going on in NCESS. So that the title of the webinar is coined as Need for Integrated Monitoring and Mitigation Practices in Containing Pollution, the NCESS initiative. Myself did a PhD in chemistry in 2004 from the Department of Chemistry, University of Kerala under the guidance of Professor Dr. T.S. Anirudhan, and an active member in our Chemistry Alumni Association also, and did my BSc and MSc in chemistry from the University of Kerala itself. The postdoctoral days spent in CSIR NIST in Trivandrum with fellowships such as CSIR RA and CSIR SRA. Also worked as postdoctoral fellow in the University of Nottingham, United Kingdom as part of British Council Fellowship. After more than 5 years of postdoc studies, in 2010 joined in NCESS as Scientist B. Fortunately, I have a good research team and more than 10 students are working under my guidance and published so far more than 50 papers in journals related to the monitoring and mitigation studies and achieved more than 2,000 citations. In this occasion, I would like to thank our director, Dr. V. Nandakumar, and the Swachhta Pakhwada program coordinator of the institute and group head of my research group, Dr. D. Patmalal, for giving me this opportunity. Moreover, I am thankful to the Honorable Secretary of MOES and Dr. Gopal Iyengar, Scientist G from MOES headquarters, and the program coordinator, Dr. Vinu from IIT M. Pune. The webinar will provide an overview of the importance of integrated studies on monitoring and feasible mitigation studies to contain pollution. The talk explains the significance, sources, and problems associated with the hydrochemical species such as nutrients and heavy metals in freshwater and coastal water systems, together with a note on pesticide pollution, including NCESS initiative in monitoring studies. The mitigation part contains an overview of various technique, research, and NCESS initiatives happening in NCESS for water purification strategies from lab to field scale. The benefits of the webinar are to show the importance of this integrated monitoring and mitigation studies and its impacts on to human society in general. The presentation will be benefited to the general public and students apart from experimental researchers that we hope. Before going to the presentation, I would like to share the events related to the Swachhta Pakhwada program organized in NCESS from 1st July 2020 till date. In the last couple of days, the COVID management committee members under the guidance of the director are busy in distributing safety kits to the various communities in and around NCESS to contain the spread of COVID-19 pandemic. The kit actually, just I want to show, the kit actually contains the mask. This actually we provided to the society. See, and it is also very important how to wear the mask. See, we have to place like this and we have to fix like this. Okay. Never touch into the body of the mask. And for removing this also, just we have to use the string. And also we have provided 3 masks to the community. And another thing is very important thing, the shield mask, that also I'm just showing. This is the shield mask we provided to the people. See, this is the shield, and see, this is the headrest, and just how it fits, very simple. See, I will show it just like this. Press it, Then just make it sure it is fixed. This is very easy to handle. See, now it's ready. Just we put it like this. This also we provided to the common people, and together with the hand wash and also the sanitizer and gloves and other things also we provided. Then one more important thing is we also provided a new item that is called the multifunctional key. See, we can use this while going outside. We can use all the opening of all the that means gates, your room, whatever it may be, and using this tip we can use to while we are going to ATM counters, we can use this tip for pressing the numbers. Therefore, this is a multifunctional key, and these things actually we provided to the common people and NCESS staffs. And thank you for watching this one. And now we can move into the presentation. As I said earlier, we are working very hard towards achieving the goals of such the Pakawada activities, especially for the last 2 weeks. Actually, we have installed an effective COVID prevention measures in NCESS. Then cleaning of NCESS campus regularly, distribution of masks, sanitizers, etc. Then organizing a webinar relevant to this topic now going on. Then spread the message using online platforms to curb the uses of single use of plastics in office. These are the activities within a couple of days before we have initiated. We have installed an auto sanitizer in various parts of our institute. Then giving the kits to the pink police, then police station, then security staff, old age home in and around NCESS, post offices, auto rickshaw people, head load workers, and so on. Cleaning of a campus parallelly going on, and giving to the housekeeping people, and so many activities as part of the Swachhata Pakwada. Actually, it is still going on. And now coming to the talk, there is need for integrating monitoring and mitigation practices in containing pollution, the NCESS initiative. I'm talking this along with the Swachhata Pakwada programs. See, for the convenience, I have outlined the presentation into 2 sections: monitoring studies and mitigation studies. Then coming to the monitoring studies. What do you mean by monitoring studies? It is nothing but to monitor various chem bio components present in a water resource to know its candidature. Apart from this, we are also monitoring the geochemical components also. Then mitigation means how to remove the unwanted materials from water resources. Then talking about the quality aspects of water, as we know that there are physical, chemical, and biological parameters which determines the quality of water. When we are thinking about the water quality, initially we are having 7 parameters. When we are going to see or analyze a water body, we have to think initially these parameters, including color, odor, taste, temperature, turbidity. These are physical parameters, and dissolved oxygen and pH are the chemical parameters. As you know that water is a colorless, odorless, tasteless compound. Therefore, something is beyond this, definitely it will cause deterioration. Now coming to the parameter temperature, as you know that it will affect the physical, chemical, and biological processes in water. It has a great relationship with the dissolved oxygen also, because the dissolved oxygen is the amount of oxygen dissolved in water, and the desirable limit is 5 milligram per liter. As the DO As the temperature increases, definitely DO decreases. Therefore, temperature has two effects. Then coming to the turbidity, that leads to the clarity of water. Now coming to the one of the most important chemical parameter, which is the acidity of a solution, pH, which is the measure of H plus ions. As you know that pH is measured in logarithmic scale. Therefore, a small change in pH is highly significant. For example, see, if the pH, we have to step down from 6 to 5, there is a 1 unit of change needs 10 times more H plus ion concentration. Therefore, a small change can impact a lot of problems to the water sources. The normal water bodies are having the pH range 4 to 7 only. Now coming to the rest of the chemical parameters, normally the micronutrients are very important class of compounds containing nitrite, phosphate, silicate, and ammonia. Then apart from this, fluoride, chloride, sulfate, carbonate, bicarbonate. Then the cations like major ions like sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium, and iron. The normal permissible levels actually for these ions, see very quick, we can say that nitrate less than 10 ppm, fluoride 1 ppm, chloride 250 ppm, silicate 2 ppm, sulfate 2 ppm. These all are about the potable water. Normally the sources are also both anthropogenic and natural. While coming to the phosphate, the permissible level is only 0.1 ppm. And as you know that phosphate together with the nitrate will create a lot of problems, especially the eutrophication. The enrichment of algal community or the increased growth of algal community with the enrichment of the phosphatic or nitrate based fertilizers. Actually, there are 3 stages: oligotrophic, mesotrophic, eutrophic, and hypereutrophic, depending on the trophic state index, chlorophyll, phosphorus, and so on. From this table, it is very clear that when the eutrophication starts, especially the phosphate concentration, when above the 24 microgram per liter. Therefore, it is an important parameter. Now coming to the normal quality parameters like total dissolved solids, electrical conductivity, oxidation reduction potential, TSS, then TIC, all we can measure to find out the quality. Apart from this, salinity, alkalinity, total hardness, chlorinity, and so on, including the biological parameters like chlorophyll, algae, phytoplankton, zooplankton, along with the microbial parameters like E. coli, SFLO, like microorganisms. Therefore, altogether more than 30 parameters we have to know to make a candidature of a water resource, especially in order to find out the quality of the water quality of the water system. Then apart from this, another important class of compounds is the heavy metals. As you know that heavy metal like lead, cadmium, copper, zinc, mercury, arsenic, chromium, nickel, they're very much toxic. So the sources, you just see the sources. Many industries like electroplating, fertilizer, pesticides, mining, nuclear power, battery making, chemicals, food industries, all are creating industrial waste with enrichment of these heavy metals. They're also causing a lot of diseases like mercury minamata, cadmium itai, and so on. Normally, they are affecting the neurological disorder. Mainly, they are causing, and finally, it will lead to death. You can see the permissible level as compared with the rest of the ions that I have already discussed. Its permissible level is very less. That indicates its toxic level, even in a trace amounts. Now coming to the section. Now we have completed the quality parameters. Now, how we will analyze? That is the next part of the monitoring studies. Actually, monitoring studies just starting. We have to conduct the field studies. Then we have to analyze using analytical tools. Field studies are the integral part. There is a protocol Most of the people will know about this one: system identification, study area locating and mapping through reconnaissance survey, land use can cover changes, then sampling, then primary analysis, followed by lab analysis, data processing, evaluation, and interpretations through modeling. See, this is a visual observation, natural observation that we are going different field programs in different basins in Kerala and outside states. These are some of the observations. We will get a very clear idea about the things while going to the field program. The sampling procedure is also having a protocol. We have to collect a deep water if it is deep, then bottom water, then surface water. I don't think we have to remember, especially for researchers, we have to think about the labeling. That's the most important thing. If you miss the labeling, then everything will become futile. Then based on the availability of the instrumental facilities, we can have different types of sampling by using different bottles. Nutrients, heavy metals, major ions, chlorophyll, BOD, TOD, and microbiological samples. But altogether, we have to preserve the samples less below 5 degrees Celsius to arrest some reactions until it reached for analysis. Now coming to the field work, actually it is nothing but it's a teamwork. We believe always in teamwork. Then these are some photographs of various fields we conducted. And the parameters, normally we are measuring the primary and in situ parameters we are measuring using sonde, then lab analysis, especially concerning cations and anions, then trace elements together with the nutrients, then another major ions also we are measuring a lot of parameters. Now, as you know that for analyzing we need a setup. Fortunately, I involved as an instrumental tool for developing a central chemical lab, and a lot of help from the director, my group head, and during that time Dr. V. Nandakumar is the current director, is the campus development committee director during that time. A lot of help we got it for making a very good lab. More than 25 instrumental facilities we have already created in the lab, and it was inaugurated 2 years back by our Honorable Secretary, Dr. M. Rajivan sir. And in view of developing a central analytical facility for water, air, and soil analysis, we should have some ideas in our mind. Initially, the lab setup, followed by safety measures, then how we will generate the primary data generation, needs of a lot of instruments. Then we need to have that's a LIMS like platforms for dealing all the data online platform. Then maintenance of lab, then the disposal of waste, human resource, some most important thing, and enable accreditation. See, this is our central chemical lab in NCESS, and this is our chemical store. One of the most important thing while dealing with the laboratory analysis, just like in our home, the kitchen is the most important thing. Like that, this is also most important thing while considering a lab. This is the wet lab. As part of the MSc dissertation, Swachhata Pakawada programs, a lot of students, I would say that more than 1,000 people so far used this lab. This is the instrumentation lab that we are having. These are the facilities so far we created in the lab, and interacting with the students, and the students and project staffs and scientific staffs are doing a lot of analysis. This is the layout we prepared in AutoCAD for setting up the lab. This is the continuous flow analyzer that we are extensively used for analysis of nutrients. These are some of the facilities including LC triple code, GC triple code, TOC analyzer, AS, TKN analyzer, mercury analyzer, CHNS, and so on. With the help of these instruments, actually we are analyzing the different chemical and biological parameters in water. As of now, We are having some projects related to the hydrogeochemistry and nutrient fluxes of the rivers of West Ghats. That is funded by the Ministry of Earth Sciences, our core program. Mainly, we are looking into the objectives to analyze the land system of Periyar and Netravati river basins. We have already in line, including chemical and biological profile, to create a database for natural resource and environmental attributes, to identify and monitor the hotspots. Then the speciation studies we have just started. These are some of the important basins that we are conducting our studies. This is one of the studies in our Netravati river basin. For the last 3 years, we are extensively doing field programs, especially to check the suitability of water resources, especially the Netravati river, for drinking as well as the irrigational properties, irrigational applications. We are taking the samples from paddy fields and river water and the groundwater for quality aspects. See, these are some of the results. I'm not going deep into the results. As you from this table, it's very clear that around 50% agricultural activities are in the basin, and the urban area only 7% that is concentrated in the Bangalore city area. Therefore, it's a very good system to study the impact of chemicals in water with respect to the quality aspects. Now coming to the parameters. See, these are the parameters: SAR, RSC, sodium percentage, magnesium hardness, acidness, then permeability index. This is a sodium adsorption ratio, residual sodium carbonate. Many modeling equations are available to study the irrigational suitability of groundwater. See the values we got it for different field programs, and all are well below the permissible indices values. Only few are exceptional. See, these are the classification pattern. And at the same time, we also find out the water quality index for the potability. But see, this is the limit 50, but only few samples are beyond that value. Now coming to the component analysis, multivariate analysis also we are doing, just like a Pearson correlation, hierarchical cluster analysis we are doing, and not going into the deep. Then also we are studying the Netravati Gurupura river basin, especially in the estuarine area, to study the interactions of fresh water, the estuarine as well as the coastal ocean systems. We are also doing the phytoplankton species analysis also, that is published recently in Estuarine Coastal and Shelf Science journal. Then coming to the Periyar river basin, we are doing pesticide analysis apart from the normal water quality analysis, and the results actually found a trends of nutrients, ammonia and phosphate nitrate. From this is actually the stations, more than 65 stations we have find out. From here to here, that means from its origin point to the ocean point, that means to the east, from east to west. See, the nutrients pattern slightly increases. That is due to the enhanced activities of agricultural as well as the industrial. Now coming to the analysis related to the pesticides, we have fortunate to have analyzed the ethion, phenolrate, endosulfan and acephate compounds by using our sophisticated instruments like LC-QQ and GC-QQ. We took around 6 months to develop the methodology for its analysis in real samples. A lot of compounds we identified. And similarly, we are monitoring the industrial hub of Kerala, Kochi, especially in the Billington Island and the Elur Waipin industrial stretch. These are some of the observations we made into a spatial distribution interpolation graph, and I'm not going into the deep. These are the total nitrogen and total phosphate changes that we observed. Together with, we have studied the speciation of mercury. As you know that mercury has many forms, including elemental, Hg+, Hg2+, that's a normal form. Then different types of monomethyl mercury, dimethyl mercury. We have studied near the Elur industrial belt, and we got the presence of methyl and ethyl mercury. So you know that it is 10 times more toxic than the normal mercury. And now we are extending our study to the entire basin, especially in the industrial area, to make a data bank for these species. These are the chromatogram obtained by using the mercury analyzer. This is the Elur industrial bed studies related to the nutrients and heavy metals. And now coming to the Kerala flood, also we have studied last 2 years back. Some of the observations, these are the field programs. See, the notable observation is E. coli concentration, what you expect is very high, but not became a problem at all. It is actually surprising results, we got it, but in the 1924 flood, a lot of people actually died due to the communicative disease, but that not happened in Kerala especially. Why it is not happening? Especially the temperature is a major factor. After the flood, the temperature actually went up to 35 degrees Celsius. It's very difficult for the microorganisms to exist. Moreover, extensive chlorination continuously done by the government agencies, that also arrests the increase in the concentration, increase in the population of the coliforms. Moreover, most of the areas flooded will wash out quickly to the Arabian Sea, even though initially some problems. Therefore, what is the conclusion is the post-flood situation did not create much problem in view of communicative diseases. That was also a very nice study. And coming to the deep sea sampling, we are also working on that, especially the seawater quality program. Later it was QMAPS. We have conducted field programs in Kochi as well as in mangrove restaurant systems together with the Kavaratti. These are the sampling points. These are the sampling locations. Some of the, because we are monitoring actually, see the continuous monitoring, 36 hours monitoring with 3-hour interval, and assess the variation of nutrient parameters reflects the tidal impact with anthropogenic stress in lagoon waters. The welling phenomenon also cross over the lagoon reef and reflecting towards the lagoon water. And due to the shallow depth, the nutrient parameters show more influence in upwelling processes. This is a depth, and see as the time increases, how the pattern of different types of nutrients changes. Groundwater quality also we checked. These are the water quality index with respect to the groundwater sources. And these are some of the findings related to the type of water. Then based on WQA classification, 8% samples in steady area perfectly suitable for drinking purpose. Then a lot of parameters with respect to the, because a lot of coconut plantations there, irrigation quality we checked, and so on. As you know that Dr. Krishnan actually scientist D, my close friend, Custom Process Group has established 2 AW systems, one in Munnar around 2400 meter MSL and one in Megur in Karnataka district, and we are using these data also for interpreting our results. You can see the view of the Iravakulam National Park. It is one of the highest peak. It is the highest peak, I would say, in the Western Ghats region. All the instruments are now functional. Now coming to the mitigation studies. Now we have monitored, we identify the problems, what we have to remove. Then it's very important, we are concentrating mainly on nutrients and heavy metals. This is one of our thrust areas also. See, the mitigation strategies, a lot of mitigation strategies are actually available, especially electrochemical, chemical precipitation, osmosis, ion exchange, membrane filtration, etc. See, among these actually adsorption is one of the best technique. Why? Due to its simplicity. A wide choice of adsorbents can be used. Then reusability of adsorbents, less sludge production, eco-friendly nature, cost-effective nature, and also trace amount of elements can be removed or compounds can be removed. That is very difficult with the precipitation or other techniques. Therefore, we have concentrated on adsorption-related studies for applying in industrial effluent treatments. Adsorption, as you know, that's a very simple process of adhering particles on the solid surface. That's adsorbed phase. A variety of materials actually used for adsorbents, like natural products, like clays, chitin, etc. Then agricultural waste products, they are also natural. Then industrial waste products are widely used. But everything depends on its surface modification or the chemistry we are using for modifying its surface. That actually determines the ability to adsorb a particular component from water sources. We are working a wide range of materials, but here I am concentrating only 3 materials: clays, chitin, and the activated carbons. This is the sequence of our study. We are synthesizing the materials, then characterization, then application from lab to field studies. See, I would like to introduce some of the preparation, like how we are preparing the chitin. We will initially prepare the chitin from a shrimp cell that is widely available along the coast. While going for field programs, we are collecting a lot of process like pulverization, washing, demyelinization. Finally, we will get the chitin. Then there is an deacetylation process because we have to remove an acetyl group CH3CO from chitin. Okay, then we will get just like here, this is the chitin molecule, and see there is an NH2 group and there is a primary alcohol. Here there is a COCH3 group that has to be removed. Then we will get the chitin molecule. Okay, coming to the surface modification, CFCCP-COOH, there is a carboxylate functional group we are adding to the, or we are grafting to the material. Some copolymerization reactions we have conducted. And finally, we will get this chitin copolymer as an adsorbent material. Okay, this only for chemistry students, I would say how the mechanism of polymerization happens in the material, how it is changing. See, here I'm not deeply going into this. The OH group is actually converted into an free radical because the K2S2O8 is creating a free radical that will cause the free radical formation of a chitin molecule, and together with the copolymerization with MAA and GM, we will finally get this complex molecule with a lot of, especially these are the active groups for attracting the heavy metals. Similarly, we are using sulfurized activated carbons for our research for the same purpose of removal of contaminants. These are some of the methods. And similarly, we are using, I already said that clay is also our business. Then we are, see, there is a process called the pillaring process. So you can see the pillaring actually increases the space between two layers in the clay. Therefore, the particles can very easily adhere to the surface or internal pores of the clay. Therefore, we are using this pillaring technique to improve the adsorption capacity. See, now coming to the instrumentation, a wide range of instruments, MEDS, XPS, HNS, a lot of instrument facilities we are using to characterize. And for adsorption studies also, we are using orbital shakers, centrifuges, and field applications. Okay, material characterization, I'm not going into the deep, just mentioning about, see, we have to find out, or we have to get an idea that, okay, the material is adsorbed or not. That we have to find out. Therefore, some tools we are using. One of the tool is IR. See, you can see these bands we are getting in this range. See, this is not present in the chitin molecule. That indicates the presence of these compounds, oxides. Some also we are getting some information, like after adsorption, see, we are getting some EDA spectra like this. XPS studies also an important study thing. We are extensively using these studies, especially to find out the chemical structure of where the heavy metal is attaching to the, is it NH2 or is it to COH group? That is actually finding out by using the XPS studies. This is the probable mechanisms. Actually, everything we have published. This actually we have published in a Journal of Cleaner Production, a very good journal recently. And this is the mechanism, proposed mechanisms. Actually, the journal, its impact factor is more than 7. They have accepted our proposed mechanism. And for finding out the batch adsorption or column adsorption studies, we have to find out the optimum conditions for maximum removal efficiency. For that, we are measuring or we are studying some experiments with for finding out the impact or the influence of pH, then the agitation time or contact time, and so far. This is a group of studies. Then only we will find out what is the best condition to apply the material in systems for removing these ions. Adsorption isotherms we are studying, Langmuir, Fernlich, DB, and Temkin. And also for making it to reality, we need some modeling tools actually. One of the tools is the response surface methodology. We are also the single stage, or double stage, or step-by stage reactor systems. All we are actually modeling. This is for just for information. See how much amount of the particular pollutant can be removed based on the dose, pH, and this we can apply to the real systems. And we have conducted the adsorption studies in natural systems for zinc, copper, lead, and cadmium. The results are actually shown here. And as I said earlier, the recycling is also very important. Therefore, we are continuously or parallel doing the desorption studies to find out the reusability of the material. The results are very good. And this is one of the schematic representation of the material preparation and its application in real system that we have already discussed. These are some of the adsorption on simulated and industrial wastewaters that we have done so far. And this is the zirconium billiard bentonite clay that I have already discussed. This is one of the graphical abstract published in Environment Technology and Innovation Journal. That whole process is like this. See, this is a typical presentation of the synthesis, characterization, lab, and finally the field application studies. This is the concise of the work for a single material to be affected in a field program. And what is the application? It's also a very important question. In field, actually, we are on the way. The adsorbent systems are available. Our material can be incorporated in adsorbent systems that can be used in pilot experiments or real applications. Then we have actually elevated the research to check the feasibility, especially in large scales. Also, our material can be incorporated in the permeable reactive systems. See, this is the permeable reactive system. We can actually provide the materials for developing these PRBs. See, waste, even groundwater resources or groundwater flows can be effectively treated without any problems to the natural environment. You can see this YouTube video, how to, or the video of installing a permeable reactive barrier. We are concentrating on the material development in that part. Now, these are actually the monitoring studies so far going in our institute, but only a concise level I have so far explained. And apart from this, for the last couple of months, as you know that, we are actually worked extensively with the Swachh Pakhwada initiative for preventing the COVID-19 pandemic. As you know that initially the shortage of sanitizer in the market, then at the direction of the Swachhta Pakhwada committee, we managed the situation by making our own sanitizer. More than 2 liters of sanitizer we made, strictly based on the WHO guideline to contain the spreading of COVID-19. As you know that during that time, we are not even using the masks. But during that time, we are just getting the things, okay, we have to make sanitizer or we have to wear mask. During that time, we started the work to break the chain campaign. See, in Malayalam, it is called Kaividadidikam Kaigazhugu, Hatna Kodem, Hat Koe, strictly on the procedure by the WHO. A lot of activities. See, you can see from the pictures. This is our material, our sanitizer that is we made in our lab and distributed to NCESS and outside NCESS. The students are working on making the sanitizer. See the labeling. Fortunately, I took the aloe vera from my home. Therefore, I should present the figure of that one also here. Then distributing to our group head, Dr. D. Patmala, just 3 months before. And also we are ready with we are having on RT-PCR for any kind of emergency situation. The government people already approached us, and now we are ready with our RT-PCR. If some PCR tests needed, our team is ready to fight against the coronavirus. Now the initiatives are made for the corona-free campus by our Swachhta Pakhwada committee. And unique institutional COVID managed committee, I hope that it may be the first of its kind in India, I think so, among the institutes. It was constituted by the director, Dr. V. Nandakumar, by the members, Dr. K. Maya, Dr. Raji Srinivas, and Mathu Madhavan. See, the committee is monitoring the COVID-19 related matters 24 into 7 days, frequently supplying sanitizers, masks, and installed automatic sanitizer dispenser. I have already explained. The thermal scanner mission is in the NCESS gate. Then route map of each staff is updating with the committee. Fortunately, if we are going to a margin free, actually we have to write our name along with our phone number. There we are giving one of the dedicated number of our COVID managed committee there. See, if something happened, definitely they will call the people of COVID management committee. Also, they will get, okay, some problem already have. Therefore, we can take a lot of preventive measures. Then those who are going field with will be quarantined for 14 days. That's mandatory. Attendance is marking by the security personnel only. We are not using the punching system. All are wearing mask and using sanitizer intermittently. Updating things actually through WhatsApp platform. And we are social distancing. Also, we are following. Then only we can kick off the corona. And therefore, as part of the Swachhta Pakhwada committee, it's a great honor for me to present our work, especially in line with the Swachhta Pakhwada committee or Swachhta Pakhwada programs. And I would acknowledge, because it's a teamwork. The God Almighty give me the strength. My family members, parents, co-parents, my wife, Dr. K.G. Srijaya Lakshmi, my son, Master A.S. Devanandan, he is actually, yeah, this is my son. See, after getting some information from Swachhta Pakhwada programs, I used to talk in my home. Then he said that, okay, what I have to do for that? Then you do it, what you can. Then what he did, actually he's a coding student, White Hat Junior. Then he made some apps on Tankable platform related to the COVID-19 information for blind people and a FAQ and circulate it. See, these things only happen because of this program only. I'm thinking how our Prime Minister, Honorable Sri Narendra Modi ji, came up with such type of program 2-3 years back. Now it is the most essential thing. And I also thankful to Director Dr. V. Nandakumar, NCESS, Dr. D. Patmalal, my scientist guide, and group head, Dr. K. Maya, deputy group head, my close colleagues, Dr. A. Krishna Kumar, Dr. Raji Srinivas, Dr. Thompson, and my teammates, Bedimela Ubendra, Liji, Vinita, and my PhD days friends, Dr. Aji Shubi and Dr. Vinod. Then MOES and its institutes, especially the IITM, CSIR and IIST, Cochin Port Trust for awarding the consultancy project, University of Kerala, QSAT. My research scholars, especially, they are my strength. Why I am here? Only due to their contributions. Dr. Vinu, Harsha, Sibin, Radish, Vishudas, Sandhya, Shaini, Arun, Raghunath, Bemsi, and Gayatri, and other project staffs, technical, scientific, and admin staffs, all wholeheartedly helped me to come up with some observations, some applications. Then this is the first webinar I am doing with this platform. Definitely I have to think about, as you know, that Mada, Pita, Guru, Deva, based on our Indian culture. Therefore, I would like to dedicate my talk or webinar to these things, especially my teachers, my parents, my family, and ultimately my research guide, Dr. T.S. Aniruddhan, and late my grandfather, Professor V.K. Krishnadas, former head Department of Chemistry, Sport Christian College, for giving me a great help and strength. This is our campus, and thank you all for watching. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Anoop, for an interesting talk on need for integrated monitoring and mitigation policies. So we do have 2 questions. So I am placing it through the chat window. So kindly answer them.
Hello?
Yes, Dr. Anoop, we do have 2 questions kept in the chat options. Kindly answer them. So please stop sharing and come out.
What is the present status of eutrophication in coastal and inland waters of Kerala? Please comment. Okay, and we are, as you said earlier, we are frequently going, especially the monthly monitoring is we are doing in the Cochin estuary and related water bodies, especially the backwaters. That is it's a main problem in these areas. We are frequently seeing the eutrophication. You can see a lot of, especially the hyacinth. In our area, especially there is an Akulam Valley Kyle lake is there. There is also having the same problem of eutrophication. Actually, it is a widespread problem in Kerala. We actually initiated some works also with the Akulam Lake, how to remove these hyacinths, but only we have initiated. Hopefully, we will get some good results, as everything is due to the municipal as well as the hospital waste inputs. And next one is what is the plan for integrating the observations, findings in implementing a mitigation strategy in containing pollution. Actually, this is a very good question actually. Then the lab to real scale or lab to field scale, it actually involves a lot of processes, especially the engineering aspects, the modeling aspects of the reactor systems. Actually, we are having a blueprint on that. Then now we have started to imprint our our material in a solid matrix, which has to sustain all the most of the diversified conditions that may happen in the industry or in real situation. Then we have to tailor our material into the platform. Then we have to check these devices in real water systems. Actually, we are also planning in a decentralized manner, because we are having around more than 25,000, I think so, educational research institutes in India. As part of this Swachhata Pakhwada program and Clean India Mission program, actually we can create our own technology based on these materials. I know that we have only started the work, but we have to go. We have to go miles and miles. But hopefully, we can finally win the situation, and we can make our own systems for water treating, especially in decentralized manner. The planning is going on. We have already made some pencil paper work to come up with good results, and we are waiting. And also, I fortunate to have a opportunity a couple of years back in Japan. Especially during that time, I visited most of the treatment plants in Tokyo. It was amazing. Then during that time, actually, I came to know that, okay, our research is having some value. We can apply these things, because each minute points, especially inside the water purification, we enter into the whole system. And they have explained many things, especially for perchlorate, many small points. One example is how we will remove perchlorate, or how we will remove the organics. They are having some systems. Therefore, we hope that we can also do such things by an integrated model, because monitoring is also most important thing. The flux we have to calculate. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Anoop, for answering the query. So we come to the end of the session. Thank you very much for giving a talk regarding related to the Swachhata event of NCESS.
Okay.
We can go offline now. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you all.